Right, so for today's video, we'll be talking about a situation that's been blowing up on TikTok recently, and it's where a mum has been calling out a company that makes cradles for babies, because of some safety hazards regarding their product. Now, the mum you need to be aware of here is a user called That Mummy Over There, who has actually been uploading a series of videos about this whole situation. I think about 13, 14 videos at this point. It starts off with the original video just talking about the safety hazards, as we mentioned, and then it becomes this much bigger situation where That Mummy Over There goes on to talk about a bunch more problems that she has with Cradlewise. Cradlewise being the company, by the way. This is their TikTok account right here. From what I can tell, they have like one product, or at least like one main product, and it even says in the bio, the only convertible smart crib that helps the whole family sleep better. From what I can tell, the reason why it's like a smart crib is because it has like motion sensors on it, and I guess you can see when like your baby's moving and waking up. It also kind of has this gentle like bounce motion to help the babies get to sleep. It's just meant to be this really good crib that is also pretty expensive. It's between $1,400 and $2,000, I guess, depending on like the features that you purchase. And in this situation, that mum over there actually spent $1,600 on this product and recently uploaded a video explaining why you shouldn't.
We bought a $1,600 crib called Cradlewise, and I'm going to tell you as quickly as possible why you shouldn't do the same thing. This is Cradlewise. It's a smart crib. Proof of the price. The earlier you order, the cheaper it is. We ordered 4 months in advance. It was a month late. They had to send us a new bassinet for the baby to sleep in, a temp one.
Okay, so straight away, an issue. It arrived a month late. Now, that's kind of the only time this is really mentioned in the whole situation. It's definitely not the biggest part of this. That mum over there then goes on to talk about some of the features that you get with this crib.
Now, quickly for an overview of why it wasn't worth it. The rock your baby back to sleep feature, 3 months is the max that you can use that. Sound machine? Crap. The, hey, we watch your baby breathe and alert you if something goes wrong, beta feature, never came to fruition. Baby recordings from your monitor, only with the Plus subscription, which they don't tell you in advance. Monitor stopped working a few times, so we decided to take the crib apart to see what the issue was. $1,600 crib.
Okay, so as you can probably tell already, that mum over there isn't exactly impressed with the crib. Now, one quick correction that we hear a little bit later on, if you remember in that clip we just watched, that mum over there says the rocking feature only lasts about 3 months. It's actually 6 months. She then makes a follow-up video kind of explaining that. But now this is where we actually get to the main issue, because that mum over there goes on to show that the cam look nuts on the crib have been falling off.
Hello there, sorry to interrupt, this is obviously very different for this channel, but I'm just editing the video right now, and I've realised that when I went to say cam lock nuts, I constantly keep pronouncing it wrong. For some reason, it's like a tongue twister to me. And I say like look nuts or like look nuts or whatever, right? I just mulled up a lot of times. So I'm just warning you in advance. I do apologize. Please spare me in the comments.
Monitor didn't work, which gets warm, by the way. Monitor didn't work because this had come loose. Why had that come loose? Because the cam nuts go missing. What's a cam nut? That is a cam nut, the thing that comes on all your IKEA furniture. Just missing after construction.
Now, straight away, there's a few big issues here, right? Because if the cam look nuts are falling off, I mean, first of all, that means that the crib's not going to be stable. It could end up collapsing, right? But also, we can see right here, they're fairly small, to the point where it could be a choking hazard. So you can see why that mum over there was concerned when she saw this, and then you can only imagine that if this is an ongoing issue and happens with other cribs, that is a massive concern. Now, in a separate video, we actually see what the issue is with the nuts here. So that mum over there shows that when you try to tighten some of the cam nuts, they end up like rolling back, like rotating backwards.
And so you go to tighten them all the way, and they just roll back.
So what you're saying is that they don't tighten properly, right? In fact, in the original video, that mum over there actually like rocks the crib herself, like with a hand, and then another one falls off.
Supposed to last them until they're 2. I get it. I have a big baby. He can and does all day. Every time he goes down for a nap. Oh my God, you cannot. Another cam nut just fell out. Ah! That just fell out of there. $1,600 crib.
Now, she does go on to end the video by saying that the customer service hasn't exactly been great. They did end up sending some replacement cam lock nuts, but that shouldn't really be the case when you spend so much money.
Save yourself the money, save yourself the hassle. The customer service has not been amazing. We let them know about the faulty cam nuts and that they don't stay in and they're a choking hazard. They basically were like, oh, that's concerning. We'll let you know if we do anything about it. I haven't heard anything back. They did send us new, nicer ones, but it shouldn't matter. They should do a recall. Come on.
Yeah, so the replacement nuts is interesting, and as we'll see a little bit later on, I give a bit of a spoiler here, I guess, because it's one of the last videos we'll actually look at, since we're doing this in chronological order when the videos were released. But what we later find out is that it seems like Cradlewise have been changing these cam nuts consistently over the past couple of years. And the way that that mum over there found this out was because she compared pictures of other people's cribs that they had purchased over the past couple of years, and she counted at least 4 different types of nuts. Now that could be for many different reasons, right? It could be because there's problems with the nuts that were originally there, they changed them, and I guess there was problems again. It could just be like saving costs. But what that mum over there goes on to say is that has there been official testing for every time that they've changed these nuts, which I guess we don't really know the answer to, but we'll see more of that later. Now in the next video we hear that Cradlewise actually offered a refund after the video kind of blew up, to which that mum over there says, yeah, fair enough, but that's not really the main concern here.
They did offer us a refund, which we may take, but we told her that she did want us to return the crib, but we did tell her that our bigger concern was making sure that they got this product off the market, or at least the faulty hardware. So that's my update.
Now the rest of this video, that mum over there actually goes on to try and test to see if there's lead in the nuts. This was like a concern that people were mentioning in the comments, so she does like an at-home test. And this actually ended up becoming a much bigger thing because the company ended up responding saying that there wasn't lead in the nuts, and they kind of showed some studies to try and prove their point.
Hi, Cradlewise. Remember me? You had some really big feelings about my lead swab result post. And I know this because I've seen the language change on your website. I've also seen you call me a fearmongerer.
Okay, right, so we then see this screenshot from a subreddit. Now we can actually take a read through this. Now the original post is from the Cradlewise subreddit, and it's basically just someone concerned. They've seen this video, seen that it's tested positive for lead, and they're kind of wondering what people's thoughts are on this. And then we actually see this reply here that says, official reply from Cradlewise Inc. Hey, Cradlewise team here. We do not manage this community. It is maintained by parents like you. But we are obliged to reply here since there is a lot of fear-mongering going around on here based on loose grounds. Our products and any accessible components are subject to and meet stringent federal safety requirements that assure no hazardous exposure to lead or any other harmful substance. The reply goes on and it mentions the CPSC tests that they did for lead content, shows that they use 2 different methods for this, but then the reply actually ends by linking this report for at-home lead test kits. And basically what they're trying to say here is that at-home lead tests aren't very accurate. We can see here the summary of the results. It says the usefulness of these kits may be limited by interfering substances that could cause inaccurate results. Some kits may not reliably detect lead when it is present, in brackets false negatives, or may register a positive response in the absence of significant lead levels, false positives. Now something which that mum over there goes on to mention is when you actually read more of the study, it says of 104 total test results, more than half, 56, were false negatives and 2 were false positives. And basically what we can gather from this is that the lack of accuracy with these home test kits that they're talking about here is more to do with them not being able to detect lead when there is actually lead in them, and not so much detecting lead when there isn't actually lead. Now it is also worth mentioning that this is from 2007, so I don't know how good at-home lead test kits have got over the years, but yeah, that is the study that the Cradlewise team actually linked. I'm by no means saying there's actually lead in the product, by the way. It's a home test done by someone who I believe has no experience in this stuff, right? So I'm not saying that there's actually lead in the product. I'm just trying to give you the information. Now, in response to this post, that mum over there actually first of all says that lead isn't really the main concern here. The main concern is it being a choking hazard.
I want to say first and foremost that lead is not my major concern with this crib. It's not good if there's lead in the crib, but the major concern is that my hardware warped, became loose, and could have been a choking hazard for my baby.
And then actually goes on to talk about the whole false negatives, false positive side of it.
And one of them, and you should know this since you're posting it everywhere, was because there was red paint that was tested, and they believed the red paint ended up on the swab. So that's roughly 2% margin for error. And they certainly say in there that it's definitely cause to explore further. You didn't explore further.
And then goes on to explain her communication with the CEO.
Instead, you cut me off because you didn't want to talk mom to mom anymore and said you'd handle with the CPSC. And when I said sounds great, you responded, with a cute little heart emoji.
Okay, so we can see some messages here from the CEO that says, I am blank, co-founder and CEO of CradleWise. I'm a mum of 2 kids too. Saw your video on TikTok and the issue with Camlock Nut. Possible to talk on the phone? I deeply apologise for the experience on the crib. Safety is of paramount importance and we are here to support you. Would like to talk to you mum to mum. And then we can see another screenshot here where half the message actually cut off. We can kind of read it from halfway. It says, tested before we started shipping any to the customers. We have the test reports. Since you have already reported the issue to the CPSC, we will be directly liaising with them for all further investigation. Now, as the video carries on, that mum over there actually goes on to say that she did another test with the lead with a different product that actually said that there was no lead, so she's actually going to send the product to a company that sends it to the EPA to actually get tested. And then actually goes on to mention that since her video, there's actually been a change to the website.
Now, on your website, I did notice that your language changed to say that there's no lead in accessible parts. A week ago, all it said on the website was that your product was lead-free. Which is it?
Yeah, so they did change the information on their website, specifically the part talking about if CradleWise tests for lead, which is interesting considering, obviously, the video that mum over there actually posted. In the next video, we actually hear a different type of response from the CEO who says that it could be to do with the fact that the crib was partially on a rug.
Your CEO didn't reach out till my video went viral. And on that call, she said she noticed that our crib was partially on a rug, and that might have been the reason that the hardware worked. Quick question for you. Is this you? That looks like your TikTok page. How about this one? Let's just throw in a few more for good measure.
Yeah, so, I mean, ironically, they do actually have a lot of videos showing that their crib is partially on a rug, so I think this is a fair response. Now, maybe the fact that it was partially on a rug is an issue in terms of the structure of the crib, but if you're advertising your own product, you probably shouldn't do it in a way that could cause damage to the crib. Now, in the next video, we see another response from the customer service, and there's a bit highlighted here, which that mum over there kind of gives her thoughts on, and it says, a crib is never a replacement for a parent, no matter how smart the cradle is. And this is how that mum over there actually responded.
I just want to be so clear with you that your official response to a parent who wrote into you concerned about her own loose hardware was that she needed to be a better parent. This is an appropriate response to a customer who says to you, hey, I didn't get notified that my baby was crying when I ran around the corner and left him home while I went to get a pack of smokes. Like, what are you talking about? How does this apply to this situation?
And now moving on to the next video, like I mentioned, there's a lot of videos in this series, but in the next video, it's a bit of a different type of situation. Because that mum over there actually goes on to show that since posting a video just in the past couple of days, when this video was posted, there's been a massive increase in the amount of videos praising CradleWise. And specifically, it's from a group of accounts that are all interacting with each other, don't really have many videos, all posted like 3 separate videos talking about CradleWise in a very short period of time, and then are commenting on each other's videos, almost suggesting that they don't even know what CradleWise is, but they're here to support the creator and they think the product looks great from their video. I realize that's a bit confusing, so I'll play a video and you can see for yourself.
This morning after somebody mentioned CradleWise turned off their comments, and I happened to find this video.
I'm like doom scrolling on TikTok as I...
Cool, nothing super sus here, just some girl talking about her experience with CradleWise. Checked out her profile.
And now the driver thinks that I'm like the most neglectful mother. My baby
Another
is in that phase
CradleWise
where
one.
he's just
And a
repeat first time mom
third
mistakes.
one day
So, like,
ago.
20 minutes.
Let's check out the comments. Let's check out Melanie Girl Mama.
Why are toddlers...
11 hours ago. Oh, hashtag CradleWise.
Please tell me that...
23 hours ago. Hashtag CradleWise. 1 day ago. Hashtag CradleWise. Go ahead and check out the comments on her account. All right. Ooh, Holly looks interesting. Let's check out Holly. Cool, Holly. Let's see what your videos are about.
Long story short, CradleWise to Mommy's rescue.
So yeah, as we can see, there's a group of creators that are all commenting on each other's videos and all making very similar videos. And interestingly, when we look in the comments, the type of comments they're leaving is stuff like this. So this is from Holly, who is one of the people who posted 3 different videos talking about how good CradleWise is. But they commented on another creator's video saying, these babies are so much smarter than we give them credit for, what's a CradleWise? Suggesting that they don't even know what Cradlewise is, even though they have posted their own videos talking about how great it is. To which the creator of this video says, smart crib, all-in-one bassinet, crib with built-in baby monitor, sound machine, it's the coolest. We actually see another comment here from Connor Johnson, who says, had one yesterday too, it be like that. This is another creator who also done a similar thing in terms of posting 3 different videos. And none of these accounts mentioned that it was like an ad or anything, which obviously you're not allowed to do. So what it seems like is that Cradlewise have paid these creators to not only like do like these brand deals where they talk about how great the product is, but then to also comment on each of his videos, pretending they don't know what Cradlewise is. For some reason, I don't really get it. But I guess the idea is that they want these creators to look like actual customers who aren't being paid to talk about this. Now, since that mum over there has actually made this video, they have all updated their bios. So you can see one here that now says Cradlewise Ambassador, another one here that says Cradlewise Partner, and again, another one that says Cradlewise Partner. These weren't here before, but now are. Now again, another thing that mum over there actually pointed out is that when you go over to the website, you can actually look at the negative reviews. Now, a lot of people were leaving comments in the original video saying like, did you not see the negative reviews? To which that mum over there says, no, I didn't see any negative reviews. And I guess this is the reason.
Were you aware that it's against the law to keep people from finding low-star reviews on your website? So let's talk about a cute little bug I found on your website.
Okay, so it's trying to filter for low-star reviews, and it's not working.
When we were looking for this insanely expensive crib, we didn't find any bad reviews. That's when I discovered that on your website, you can't access those reviews.
So yeah, if you tried filtering for a low-star review, it would load, say there's no matches, and then just show you the 5-star reviews instead. Now, you could filter it to find the 4-star reviews and the 5-star reviews, just not anything lower, and that mum over there says it wasn't just her device. She used different devices in different states as well. Like, this was a problem that was affecting anyone trying to access the site.
Just in case it was our internet or our state, we had out-of-state family and then I asked a few strangers from the internet to try it as well.
Okay, so as you can see, it's something that affected everybody. Was it on purpose? Was it by accident? I'm sure Cradlewise will say it was by accident, but who knows? But one thing that's interesting is that since this video, again, it has now been fixed. You can actually see the lower star reviews. And then for the final video in this series, for now I guess, right, because this was actually uploaded 20 hours ago as I'm recording this, that mum over there goes on to mention, what I kind of explained earlier, that the nuts have been changed on numerous occasions.
Hey Cradlewise Crib Company, if there's no issue with the hardware in your baby products, why did you switch out the cam lock nuts 4 times in the last 2 years?
Receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots.
You sell cribs that cost up to $2,000. Ours warped after a year of ownership, and the hardware became loose enough to fall out and could have been a choking hazard for our baby.
And this raises a few questions for that mum over there. One of them being, like, is this the reason that you don't want to do a recall?
If the hardware you sent was fine and we're the issue, then why keep changing the hardware? Answer honestly. Are you avoiding a recall because you don't know which families have what hardware after all the switch-outs?
She then also goes on to question which of these nuts have actually been safety tested.
Now, you also mentioned that you safety test annually. Which annual? 4 brands of cam lock nuts in 2 years. Which ones were at the annual inspections?
And then goes on to say that she assumes the reason for this is because they're trying to save money.
I suspect it was your bottom line that influenced the decision to change. Imagine charging $2,000 for a crib and not springing for a few extra bucks to make sure that that hardware can't warp and end up in a baby's throat. Y'all just stay doing the wrong thing, don't you?
And that is all the videos that we have up until now. I feel like this is obviously an ongoing situation. Maybe there's going to be more updates in the future. But with the information that we do have, I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I mean, do you feel like there should be a recall? How do you feel like the company has dealt with this? Do you think they've done the right thing, the wrong thing? Just let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'm going to leave it there. So if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.